announce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. Let's go. I'm just telling you to fight for your dreams, but it's not what it seems. Man, it's hard to be seen when everybody wants to be king. Yeah, they all want to ring. Yeah, we all want to be free.
Here talking the post-game show with the Detroit Lions victory 21-16 against the New York Giants. And I'm here with my man, Curtis Steele. How you doing, brother?
What's going on, Mike? Hey, man, shout out to the LNU family. What up, dude?
What up, Doe? And good night. I want to say Will Harris gone, Chrome in the building, Robert Corsini, K-Man, Zach J, Justin May, Don the Goat Bird, D. Williams, Mofo, and Michael Banks in the building. Michael Banks, part of Lions Nation. What's going on, my man? I know you're real happy.
Michael Banks?
Michael Banks is a real one for sure. Curtis Steele, what did you think of the game right
now? I like the win. Of course, a lot of stuff to kind of improve on, but you look at the game in the totality. I always will take a Lions win over a Lions loss. Some guys popped and some guys didn't. But you know, you can tell why the Lions made that signing this week of Teddy Bridgewater.
100%. You can see why they did Teddy Bridgewater. What do you think about Nate Sudfeld?
Yeah, walking turnover. He's a walking turnover, man. I watched that guy. I'm like, the first play, I'm like, yeah, that wasn't a good play. He just couldn't settle down. I think it probably was just kind of like, got thrown into the starting role. He didn't have his starters on the offensive line out there, but it's the group he's played with, and he should be comfortable with those guys. He had time to throw the ball, and you just made some bad decisions with the ball. I'm like, come on, man. And it had to kind of weigh on that, you bring in a guy like Bridgewater, and he's like, yeah, my time's kind of, my days are numbered in Detroit. But if you look at that, either you're going to do one thing. You bring a guy in like Bridgewater, you're going to play better because you want to prove your worth, or you're going to succumb to the pressure. And that's what he did tonight. He just, I would say this, couldn't get in the end zone, but he led a couple good drives. He picked it up. I think Chad Cota helped him out a few times. James Mitchell was definitely helped him out. But the player that I was probably most impressed with was, and he only played a limited amount of snaps, was Jahmyr Gibbs.
Mm-hmm.
And he did some intangible things. And I'm writing a piece about him right now. And guy had 37 all-purpose yards. Has some good runs. 19 yards, 6 carries for 19 yards for 3.2 yard average. But he finished his runs. For him to be a speedster, people look at him and like they think he's just going to run outside and try to get out of bounds. No, he finished his runs. He was aggressive at the point of attack. Ran through the defender if he could, and he got some good yards on the ground. Bailed Sudfeld out with that 19-yard scramble drill, that nice play where he got into Giants territory. But the most impressive thing that I saw him do was his blitz pickup. This pass protection was solid.
Very solid.
Didn't think I would see that from the young fella. But Sudfeld himself, man, I think he played himself out of Detroit. Yeah, he's gone. He's gone.
Sudfeld's gone. Martinez outplayed him, in my opinion. And it's done. Teddy Bridgewater's the backup. Devin Gardner had me rolling when they said the MVP is Teddy Bridgewater. I about fell out of my shoes because I got to talk to Devin Gardner for a while at the draft, and he just had me rolling with that. I tried to keep a straight face, but he's 100% correct. Teddy Bridgewater. And anyone that asks why we signed him, you just found out why. You just found it right then and there. I mean, it's not even a question. So Lions are good at backup quarterback with Teddy Bridgewater. Martinez could end up being on the practice squad. That's very possible. And so, I'm very happy for him. He took 2 sacks, and I loved those sacks because instead of what Nate Sudfeld did would throw the football, he just ate it. I love it. That is the best thing to do. You win or lose games by interceptions, and that's a mature thing that he did there. And he's a young fellow. Love what I saw there. My MVP of this whole game, Julian Okwara, 3 sacks. Julian Okwara, he looked like men amongst boys out there, physically dominant in his size. He looked bigger and stronger. He just kept beating the edges. And I don't know if it's just the offensive line of the Giants, but good God, he just looked bigger than everybody, and he was showing his dominance on the field. I think he played himself on the roster tonight.
Yeah.
If he does that again week 2, he's on the roster.
Yeah.
3 sacks. Just good God.
Yeah, he made that backup offensive line look terrible. Well, one thing I will say this about the Lions is that their pass rush depth is extremely good. The depth at defensive line is night and day from last year.
Oh my God, it's night.
You look at the guys they're bringing back. You got to look at Aidan, Hutchinson, Charles. Those guys didn't play, and they pressured those Giants quarterbacks all game. James Houston got in there. Romeo Okwara got in there. Junior Okwara, man, they had those guys on skates. And to DeVito's credit, he made some good plays, when he had time, but he didn't have a lot of time back there, especially on passing downs. They were just getting after him. And Julian, he must have heard what Dan Campbell said. He said he's been very inconsistent. And you look at it, I like what he did. So and I said this to someone off screen. I was like, well, he was against third string guys, but still you have to line up and play. So shout out to Julian Okwara, man. And Romeo got in there too. I mean, we had 5 sacks and Julian had 3.
Yes. Romeo had 1 sack. Julian had 3 sacks, 62 tackles for this defense, 11 quarterback hits. Jesus Christ,
they're turning
it was
it up.
Just on fire.
And I'm looking at something where you have to look at, and what people aren't really getting or seeing is that kind of 2 things happened in the offseason on the coaching staff. Is one thing that happened was they brought in I can't remember John Scott, the new defensive line coach, changed it up. And then Calvin Shepard, if you look at it, and what people really, I don't know if they really noticing it, that those 2 interact with each other. And he is the pass rush coordinator. It's not Scott. It's Shepard he's a linebackers coach, and he's the pass rush coordinator. So those 2 intertwine and work with each other. So I'm liking what I'm seeing out of the new defense with those coaches. And then I'm liking what I'm seeing from some of the young defensive backs. Dre Bly is definitely having a great job. You look at Khalil Dorsey, had a really good game. He's trying to make it the roster. Thomas had a decent game. The technique in the secondary is better. One guy who definitely disappointed, Willie. He's gonna do Willie going Willie. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna do his thing. But to his credit, Cole Beasley is he always has been one of the best one-on-one route runners in the league. Yeah, he gets it. They had a couple of guys that playing backup receiver that have been starters in the league on the Giants roster with Cole Beasley and Jamison Crowder. I'm looking at these guys like they're playing out 3rd and 4th string guys, second and 3rd string guys. I'm like, you got guys that have been starters in the league playing against these guys, and I'm like, okay, they kind of holding it on. They're gonna make some mistakes. They're
Cole
young.
Beasley is still really good.
Yeah, he is. But you look at it, the team itself fights, and they did one thing that they didn't do last year at the beginning of the season. They did it at the end of this game. They finished the game. You look at that final drive. Physical. They ran the ball. They ran the ball, mixed in some pass, but they ran the ball. And they went down there and punched in the goal line with Martinez, man. I'm loving the fight of the team. And could you just the crowd at Ford Field? Did you
on
hear
a
that
preseason game? They were loud.
48,000 people were there for a preseason game. That's freaking ridiculous. That's like that's a sellout for a preseason game.
And you know what? The players responded because from beginning to end, this is much different than what we seen last year in preseason.
Yeah.
I look at this defense and I'm just like, whoa, holy crap. We have a defense.
And
from
the
beginning
starters
to
weren't
end,
out there.
and the starters weren't out there. We're talking
Yeah.
about the depth players was making plays, and that's huge for the line. Just that defensive line was sick. If they come out and play like that, the Lions are legitimately a playoff contender. They are, you know what the Philadelphia Eagles did is they had a great defensive line last year. Played great offense with a great defensive line. Guess what? We got a great offense. And if that defensive line is like anything like that, when you're talking about 11 quarterback hits, 5 sacks, watch out, folks.
9 tackles for loss.
9 tackles for loss. I mean, they were just in the backfield the whole time.
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
And their quarterbacks was playing well. They, I was watching their form. They were doing well. But my goodness, they had
11 tackles for loss. I'm sorry. 11 tackles for loss. That's double digits. Man. What? That's
biggest
ridiculous.
Improvement. Defensive line. Second biggest improvement. Linebacker
Play.
Jack Campbell.
4 solid tackles. I mean, he was all over the place. I mean, Malcolm Rodriguez
is ready to ball.
Derek Barnes was playing with his hair on fire. I mean, he was out there. He was whipping it around, in his limited, probably the first quarter. He was out there getting it, man. I'm liking that. I'm liking the
Malcolm,
the
shout out, played well too. Like all the linebackers played really well.
Played well. Even I don't know this guy's name. He's a local kid. I can't pronounce this guy's name for anything. I'm sorry because I asked. I did a video. He signed the other day. He's a local kid, and I was like, I don't know who the hell is this guy, but he had a couple. He had a couple nice tackles. Nowaski.
Yep.
Nowaski. He had 4 tackles.
Yep.
4 tackles with 2 solos.
Just playing with their ears back. Playing with their ears back. So Jack Campbell's the real deal. Anybody that says, he's not worth the 18th pick. PFF, all you guys, you just found out that Brad Holmes knows what he's doing. Goodbye. That's why you drafted this guy with the 18th pick. This guy is a difference maker. The biggest takeaway of the rookies. I love what Jahmyr Gibbs did. I love what Jack Campbell did. But Brian Branch, that guy's got wheels. That guy plays. You think he's upset he's the second round? This guy was balling, man.
Laying the wood.
Boom. Just laying the wood.
Yeah. When you look at him, he definitely had a tackle for loss, but you look at him, man, he had 3 tackles and all of them were solo. Like he just flies to the ball. He is going to put the teams that pass on him on notice that I am here and I am here to stay, man. He's going to make a big impact on the Lions defense. And you look at the revamped secondary. Of course, we didn't see those guys today.
Right? We didn't see the starters. We know they're good, but it's the backups, right? Like there's going to be injuries, folks. So it's important to see. And it's like Starling Shepard. It's this guy. It's this guy.
Starling is good. Starling Thomas is good.
Starling Thomas.
Starling
Thomas looked good. Will Harris looked butt.
Yeah, he's straight track. He was ass.
He's done. Will Harris is done. This is something we've been talking about forever.
I don't know what he has. He has the nuclear codes, man. He has to have something.
Gotta go.
He got
tomorrow.
He got secrets on somebody on in the lives. I mean, he knows where the baby mamas are. He knows where the secret kids are, the love childs. He knows something about something. He knows where the embezzled money is located. I mean, he has to know something because the dude, he's not. Cole Beasley was cooking him. He's
got to go.
Cole Beasley was just cooking him. Even the other guy, I can't remember who the other guy was. They were just straight cooking him. They were just like, okay.
Just looked like last year.
Yeah, 525, and that's where the ball's going. That's right.
He's just such a terrible player. He needs to he may be the greatest guy in the world, and I'm not going to rip him for his his character, but he's terrible in the field. No. It's time for him to say adios, amigo. We're going a different direction. I will take Brady Breeze over this guy. Okay, I'll take anybody at this point. He is not it. He is it with an SH. Okay, that's what it is. He's just absolutely
he was
brutal.
straight cheeks. He was straight cheeks today. I like the surprise guy for me. We found our new Tom Kennedy.
Yes, Coda.
Chad Coda.
I kept saying he looks exactly like Tom Kennedy out there. He gets open and catches everything.
He's the new Tom Kennedy.
Does he make the team?
Nah, he's going to be practice squad. He's going to be the new practice squad. But
Dylan Drummond, does he make the team now?
If he can get a quarterback that can get him the ball.
I don't know. He didn't do anything though today. To me, man, I felt like he had the drop.
That was a touchdown. If Sudfeld throws that pass,
that's Sudfeld.
to the pylon, to the back pylon, instead of underthrowing it, that's a touchdown. He beat that guy by a mile.
Reynolds says you don't want Brady Breeze over Will Harris. Yeah, I'll have Kurt Steele right now over Will Harris. I have anybody over. I'm done.
Yeah,
there gets a point when you're done. I'm done with it.
But yeah, that would have been if that would have been a decent pass by if Nate Sudfeld would have put that ball at the pylon, that's a touchdown. Instead, what did he do? He underthrew the ball and almost got it intercepted again. So
I'm taking Coda right now, man. I think he ascended. He caught everything.
I like Coda. Coda had a game. He had a game for you.
James Mitchell. Cota Kennedy. That's what he is right there.
James Mitchell, the governor.
James Mitchell blew it up.
The governor.
Him. Yep.
The governor was doing his thing. I like what he was doing.
And, people don't remember, like, he was a third-round prospect last year, got injured, fell to the 5th round, and he showed the third-round ability. He really did. He was the second in receiving yards, over 50 yards receptions. He caught everything that came his way. Really good. Sam Laporta with the drop. What did you take away?
Rookie. He made the rookie. It just didn't make sure he got the one pass attempt, didn't secure the ball. I don't know. Okay, I don't know what the J-Mo blow. Okay, he dropped the one pass, but he caught everything else.
He was 3 for 4. He's 3 for 4 with 3 for 4. He fell off a cliff that first pass, but then he was 3 for 3 right after. He corrected mistake with the 2-point conversion as well. So
man, I thought that was a nice catch in the 2-point conversion.
Yes. So he's still a work in progress, but you got to say that's the right direction. 3 for 4. Yeah. He's going in the right direction. I was really upset with that touchdown drop. With that said, he made up for it. We'll see, right? Like he is still a work in progress. I'm not hating it.
He got to get some reps. He's got to get some more reps. I mean, but when the ball, after that one play, he gathered himself, got his composure, and made some plays. That 2-point conversion, the guy was draped all over him. I mean, like, I don't know how he caught that pass. I mean, I was like, the guy was hanging all over him, but he secured it and got the 2-point conversion. I love that punt return by Mo Alexander. That was electric.
95 yards, and he did that last year. Now, he didn't take one to the house, but you've seen that he has the ability to do it, and he did it week 1 preseason this year. I loved Maurice Alexander last year. I want him to make the team. If you have him and Khalif Raymond in punt returns and you have him as kick returns, that's a dynamic special teams, and that could change a game.
Definitely. And you're going to need that because we're looking for that kick returner right now with Justin Jackson, with the sudden retirement. So we need that extra, we need that replacement in the kick return game.
Running backs, there's for that final spot, I think Benny Snell did it. I think he won the night over the rest of the backs, even Mo Ibrahim and Devin Ozigbo. I thought Snell was
a physical,
and he showed burst off the line of scrimmage. He kept getting positive yards, not a single negative.
Falling forward.
Falling forward. I think Snell right now is the hands-on favorite to take that final running back spot. And I like it. I loved his burst. The guy does have some burst. Now he's not going to go, left or right, but he's burst up the middle, and that's what you need. You need a physical guy to do that.
Yeah, I was surprised that Reynolds was in street clothes. I don't know if he's dealing with an injury or not, but he was in street clothes. I saw him, I'm like, because I was looking for him, like, where's Reynolds? I'm like, this is, maybe he is dealing with something, an alien injury or something, but he was in street clothes. Zach, Jay, he was not on the field tonight. So, but Snell did look good. I will have to agree with you, Mike. The other guys had some good runs as well. Ben Johnson, even with the vanilla scheme, they kept the Lions going to do what the Lions are going to do, and Ben Johnson's offense are going to run the ball and play action pass, and they did that tonight.
Jason Kabinda. Didn't like what I saw from Kabinda.
Good. Yeah, one good pass, one good reception, then had a drop. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah. It's Kabinda. I don't know. I think he's off the team at this point. I'll take Snell over Kabinda, and that's my thing. That's what I have it. So, yeah, I think that he made his way off the football team for sure. Brock Wright did Brock Wright. We know what he can do.
Yeah, Brock Wright's on his roster. Yep, I think we have 3 tight ends. We're gonna keep Laporta, and of course Laporta is gonna be in one. You're gonna have Brock Wright, and then you're gonna have James Mitchell.
Yeah, those are 1, 2, 3.
The other guys, Daniels and I think Helm, they're not gonna make this roster.
Again, they didn't do anything, just like we expected them. Levi and Wuzurike, what did you take away from?
I was happy for him. I was happy for him.
He did one bad play where he got beat, but he made plays, tackle for loss, and he looked stronger.
Yeah, is it going to be enough for him to make the 53-man roster? He's going to have to improve in the next couple of games. Good, because Benito Jones flashed, and that was early. That's against the better talent. So yeah, but
it was good to see him on the field and working the field. I don't know if he's going to make the team. I don't know right now, but it's good to see him out there for the Lions. So who is your MVP on defense
of this game?
Yeah,
this got to be Julian Okwara, man. That guy had 3 sacks. I mean, it's not even close.
Yeah,
I mean, 3 sacks. I mean, it's the amount of pressure that he applied. Another guy who applied a lot of pressure. He didn't get a lot of tackles, I should say, but James Houston was in the backfield a lot.
Yes, a lot.
James Houston was in the backfield. Yeah, he was a disruptor. I mean, like, you'll look at the stat sheet. Was his stat sheet full? No, but it was the intangibles. He made the life uncomfortable for the opposing quarterback. So I like that with James Houston. Always back there in the backfield. So I'm liking that. If you but I have to give it to Julian Okwara, man. He was making those guys look silly on that offensive line. He was dipping in there, like he was just beating. I mean, the guy was just like, he couldn't even get close to it. He couldn't even touch him a couple times.
Yeah, 100%. Julian was. I think he worked himself on the roster. Happy for him, happy as hell, because I didn't think he was making the roster, and come out just absolutely tears it up. He's my MVP on defense, no doubt about it. Offensively, the offensive MVP here, you could go many different routes. In all honesty, there's a lot of good plays, I feel, but I got to give it to my guy Kota. I think over 60 yards reception, just somebody that you probably didn't really expect. He come in here and he looks like Tom Kennedy. Tom Kennedy's had a place in this roster with him, has 5 or 6 years. If he keeps it up through preseason, he could be the new Tom Kennedy, and a guy who no one thought potentially could be around in Detroit can be around in Detroit. All you could do is Jahmyr Gibbs, with what he just shown. He just absolutely looks everything like the 12th pick in the draft. Just an absolute stud here. I think those guys pretty much get it for me. What do you got?
I got the young fella. I got Adrian Martinez, man, leading that drive the way he did, staying composed, moving the team down the field. You look at just how he played the last drive. He played his situational football. Like you said earlier, he ate those sacks, and then he made the play with his legs. 2 big plays with his legs. Downs. Escaped the pack, got the first down and touchdown. So he's my guy on offense, man. I agree with the guys on the call. I have to give it to Adrian Martinez. for the offense, and the special teams got to be my man Mo Alexander. Man, that 95
Gotta be.
that turned the tide around. But both kickers kicked well.
Perfect. 1 for 1.
Yeah,
the battle continues.
Battle continues. So I and shout out to Parker Romo. Like I said this other day, man, his wife had the baby, man. You see all those babies on that offense.
I know.
Like
the all baby team.
Babies.
They getting it on, man.
7. Hey,
they're happy, man.
They are making it
they're making some fun over there. Look, man. I'm 38. I have no more kids. So shout out to these young folks having to deal with it. But they were in the love mode, boat.
I'm 50. I'm 51, man. I got grandkids, man. I'm good on the babies.
Biggest loser of this game for me, Nate Sudfeld, hands down. He's an absolute terrible loser in this game. I think fans were tired with the first pass interception. He could have had 3 picks. He had 2. He looked awful. His passes were overthrown 2 or 3 yards above Jamison Williams on one. He was just NFL,
forcing the ball to him. He was trying to force it to him. Yeah, and I'm like,
you can't do that, dude. Martinez looked like the veteran. Sudfeld looked like the rookie out there. That's kind of what it was. Yeah. It was just the complete opposite. One was composed and the other one was not. He is my biggest loser. The second biggest loser is the backup offensive line. That second string offensive line, it did not look good. I don't know who's going to win the backup spot, but they were not opening up holes for nobody.
Yeah.
What do you got for this? Because I have no idea who's going to take these backup roles.
I don't know. It was some that in the run game it was bad. It was definitely bad. They settled down some when they started rotating some of the other guys in. Later in the game, they settled down and they got to open up some holes. But luckily that's not our starters. Our starters were out for the game, so I think everyone building that offensive line will be ready for week 1 versus the Kansas City
starters.
Chiefs.
Perfectly fine. The starters are
the
playing
backups. I mean, like
the backup role. Like we don't know.
Sorsdahl played okay. I mean, it is what it is. Matt Nelson's proven why he used to be a defensive tackle and not a left tackle. I don't know who was his idea to start him at left tackle, but that's not.
Yeah, that was brutal to watch. Absolutely brutal to watch. Those guys there. All in all, I take away this is a huge win for the Lions. Not the victory, not talking about the win itself, but the way that this team played is a win for me. I look last year's preseason game. They did not look like this, right? They look like a team that's ready to really compete now with backups. But again, that's depth. Like you need these players to be good because there's going to be injuries. They're going to be playing in games this year. And from top down, these guys they are definitely buying in to Dan Campbell in this system, and they are 100% bought in. They're fighting every single down, tooth and nail. It was really, really good to watch, and it gives you faith of this football team. If the starters play with this type of ferocity, we're going to be in good hands this year. Yeah.
I know the McDonald's Corporation was like, man, we couldn't get out of here. What was it? Was it a field goal? It was one deal. If it was a touchdown, it was another deal. And then the last was an interception. It was a buy one, get one Big Macs. And lo and behold, the last defensive snap for the game was an interception by Brandon Joseph. I know the McDonald's, they're gonna be busy tonight. On the drive is gonna be long.
Saying, hey, you can have it your way. You're gonna have it your way today with them. Absolutely no doubt about it. Final thoughts before we close this bad boy out, because I do got to pick up my daughter from work.
You look at it. Happy for the win. Lots of stuff to work on. Gonna see what's gonna happen next week with the Jaguars, but I'm happy for the win. Always happy to see the Lions win. And Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be the man this year on the Lions.
Love the intensity of the Lions. I think we're in good hands, folks. This is a good start for preseason. 2 weeks away for the preseason. Then we get to the regular season and see where this takes us. Lions versus Kansas City Chiefs. And Sudfeld, you're gone, Phil. Hey, you need to leave. Yeah, you need to leave right now. is that was brutal. With that said, folks, adios.
I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me. And what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan. Your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the hours it takes to get some power. Don't be f***ing sour. Take a cold shower. Scream until you're louder. Work until you're prouder. And f*** all the doubters, they're just your downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought